Hi everyone, I'm Waiki Swedish Whiskey Girl, and today we're trying 3 rums from that boutique whiskey company. So of course, first of all, a massive thank you to Atom Brands who sent me this little sample set, this one here, with some of their boutique rums. So these are 3 rums, I've never tried them before, which is why I'm so excited. But they're also rums that you can't buy individual bottles of, so if you want to try them, it's the tasting set that you need to try. And it's perfect because National Rum Day and also World Rum Day is coming up next weekend, I believe. So perfect to try them now. And another reason I'm so excited is that this is a mixture of 2 aged rums, 1 unaged, and they're a variation between both column distillation and pot still distillation. So yes, I am of course always intrigued by spirits. As long as there's a good flavour, I want to explore it. And I mean, the boutique company, both the whiskey one and the rum one, seems to be doing a lot of really interesting stuff, and they seem to really care about what spirits they're doing and always something fun about them, so that's why I'm so especially excited about this one. And of course, if you're looking for this tasting set or if you're looking to get any other of their products, I've linked to Master of Malt here in the description below. And that's my affiliate link, so if you want to support me at the same time, I'd of course be over the moon if you would consider using that. And I'm also taking part in their upcoming rum tasting on the 10th of July, I think it is. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm gonna put it up here somewhere and correct myself. So I don't really know that much about these rums yet, which is why it's so wonderful to be able to try them without any preconceptions. So the first one we're going to try is a rum from Belize in Central America. It is a rum made from molasses. It's been aged for 10 years, so the first 8 years in Belize before it was transported into Europe, and then it was finished for 2 years in ex-bourbon casks. And I believe they were second fill American oak ex-bourbon casks. And this rum is made by traditional column still distillation and is bottled at 56.1% ABV. So that's that one here. And of course, these all have these lovely labels that kind of refer to the spirit or the distillery in any way. The second one we're trying is Resinio Distillery, maybe. And this is a pot still rum. It is unaged, as you can see on the clear spirit, and is bottled at 49.7% ABV. And this is a rum agricole style of spirit, so instead of using molasses, they've used sugar canes or sugarcane juice to produce this rum. So why? I just love how different these are. They're 3 really different rums, and especially, of course, because I'm coming from a whiskey background, I think it's really interesting with matured rum or aged rums. But recently I've had a bit of an interest for rum agricoles as well, because it's interesting to see how, even though they're both rums, using sugarcane juice or molasses makes a completely different spirit. And I'm also currently doing my WSET level 2 in spirits, so of course we're learning about everything from whiskey to pisco to rums to gins to vermouth, so it's going to be a lot of exciting flavours to try ahead. And the last one we're trying, it also sits at 56.1 and is an aged rum from the Diamond Distillery in Guyana, I think you say. English is not my first language, I apologise. And it's also been distilled in a pot still. And it's been distilled in Guyana and then transported over to Europe to mature here. They shipped it unaged to the UK, where it then was matured in ex-rum casks. And I believe it's also been double matured in these rum casks, making up a total of 13 years at least. But let's start with the Belize rum. Something else I learned is that you can't call this a dram of rum, it's a tot of rum apparently. So I'm going to try and not say it wrong. This is kind of what I've not explored that many rums, but it's kind of what you would expect from a molasses rum. It has this lovely rum sweetness, quite tropical. A bit like when you open a bag of brown sugar, you get that kind of moist, like humid sugariness. It's slightly more caramel than it is like white sugar. And like ripe bananas. So more like ripe bananas instead of that artificial banana nose. And like some kind of coffee notes mixed with perfume. It's almost like an acetone coffee, maybe. It's really lovely. It just makes me think of something tropical. Maybe some mango. Like there's a fruitiness there as well. And even though it is a rum, of course, and you get that kind of rum sweetness, it's not overpoweringly a lot like a really sweet rum. It still has this other elegance that I might, of course, come from the maturation, but it's slightly similar to a whiskey, but it's something quite elegant and quite subtle. Of course, let's have a little taste. Saint Germain. It's quite punchy at this strength. I kind of forgot for a moment that I was sitting at 56. So when I tasted it, I was like, oof, that was a little bit strong. Hmm. It has this lovely. I think my first initial thought is that I really like this because it has this rum sweetness, but it's not overpowering. But it also has this, like aged, like something I recognize from an aged whiskey, of course, like this kind of aged oakiness and like elegance, but still like a weight to it that makes the sweetness for me a little bit more balanced. Like it's not overly sweet. It feels more like the weight of a like oakier whiskey than this kind of sweet, desserty thing. I'm definitely getting some coffee notes, but mixed with that kind of tropical mango. Maybe a little bit banana as well. It's that kind of tropical banana mango notes. Almost makes me think slightly of like a Cavalan or something that has that kind of density to it. Wonderful. I'm gonna try them through and then I'm gonna go back and compare and then might add some water as well just to kind of see what happens. But the second one is the rum agricole that was from Oresimio, maybe? And this is immediately different. It's more that rum agricole, but it smells almost like new makey, but which of course would make sense because it's unaged. But it's very what is that? It's something, and I just I can't pinpoint it. It's so annoying when you know you have a memory associated very much with this nose, and then or this scent, and you just can't name it. It's almost a little bit like towards paint, but in a good way, and like citrus paint maybe. But of course, rum agricole is known for having quite a grassy character, quite earthy. So it's completely different. It's it's really sharp. It's not sharp, but it's really strong. Like you get the notes straight away. There's no way of kind of hiding from it. It's just it makes me think of a Swedish thing called mesmar. maybe some lemongrass and some basil, or when I breathe out, I can just feel these spices. But yeah, if you've ever tried a Scotch new make, it's a little bit similar to that, I would say, because that vegetal notes, but you also have this. I don't know how to describe it. I still like this banana note there. This is towards more artificial banana. And it's a bit like almost like acetone or paint or that kind of note, but in a good way. So I think you might know what I mean because you might find it in some whiskies as well. It's definitely it has like sweetness to it, but it's not that sugary sweetness. It's more like a fruity sweetness, and it's not overpowering. Let's try the last one and we'll see. I'll go back. That one at 49% did not feel too sharp at all. It was very, very nice sitting at that percentage, I think. Ooh, this is more caramelized bananas. I make this thing in the morning that I put on my yogurts, which you just fry bananas in a frying pan with a mixture of cinnamon, cardamom, and coconut oil and coconut sugar, and it's delicious. And that's what this makes me think of. There's a cinnamon cardamom spice mix with the coconut sugar, which is quite similar in taste to like molasses. And it's interesting because this one's of course matured in rum casks, which is like a rum inception. This one feels sweeter on the nose than the other two. Yeah, the first one's more bourbon-esque on the nose, and the second one's just crazy in a good way. This one's more golden in a way, if that makes sense, if it's color. Golden caramelized cinnamon molasses banana. Yeah. Let's have a taste. Stand back. You can tell it's a higher ABV because it has this kind of there's a spiciness that hits you, but it's not that spicy on the tongue. Like it doesn't prickle your tongue, but it's more spice in a way that you can feel after you've been eating cinnamon because it leaves this drying sensation. It's almost like a cloud of cinnamon just burst on your tongue without being prickly spicy, but just that kind of sensation. There's that drying sensation that's like the most dominant flavor. And then, don't know if this is gonna make sense, on the finish, I'm not getting rubber banana. It's just it's that kind of petrol-y vibe. It smells like rubber banana. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it better than that. That's exactly what I was thinking of. It's just this kind of slight weird note that it's like makes me think of rubber, of petrol, that kind of aroma. But then it definitely has that kind of tropical fruitiness of the banana there as well. Let's try them all with the water and we'll have a little look. Start with the Belize rum. Here we go. Yeah, now it's very bourbon-esque on the nose, like it whiskey that's been maturing in fermented fish casks, I think. But most of the things I like in one way or another, which is why I just tend to tell you the aromas and the flavors I'm getting, and then if that's something you generally like, then that's up to you to like it or not. But these are just so, like, I think these are a perfect way to explore rum, because you have aged ones, you have unaged ones, you have these different types of distillation, seeing if they will impact anything. The column distillation, which could strip away more flavors, or if you use a really traditional one, maybe gain other flavors that you wouldn't in the others. So yeah, I'm so happy I got to try these, because they really helped me on my rum journey. But I would of course love to hear if you have a favourite rum perhaps, or have you tried any of the other boutique rum ones? Better say that right. I would of course love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you like what I'm doing here on YouTube and my other social channels, I would of course be absolutely over the moon if you consider using my affiliate links the next time you're shopping with, for example, Master of Malt. I'll put all that information in the description here below, as well as links to my website, my Patreon, my Instagram, and my new Teespring shop if you're looking for whiskey merch. Perhaps I should be thinking about rum merch now as well. But of course, just want to say a massive thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you'll all have an absolutely wonderful day.